War pets are coming to Call of Dragons, and today we have a small amount of information revealing how they might start to work. So stick around in this video for the developer Q&A, where they talk about what's coming next in Call of Dragons. Hello my friends, welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and today's video is sponsored by the makers of Call of Dragons. And if you've been following along with my channel, you know that I like to cover news and information drops as soon as it lands. So if you haven't already subscribed, consider smashing that subscribe button and tossing a like on the video. Hi Lords, it's been a while since the last developer Q&A, and the Call of Dragons team has been hard at work improving and incorporating your feedback. This developer Q&A will focus on Season 1 Plus improvements to features, a sneak peek at the new content for Season 2, including war pets. I mean, that's why we're here. First question. Since Season 1 Plus began, leveling up my heroes has felt like a grind, and it's particularly slow leveling up 50 plus non-gathering heroes. Will you be doing anything to change this? Personally, I would say that this is, I think, fine with the way that leveling works today, but the thing that's really an issue, in my opinion, is once you have to start leveling from PvP, that experience gain is based on merits. And so the weirdness there, at least I think it's based on merits. So the weirdness there is that like infantry, which don't accumulate many merits, and they mostly just like tank for a while then die, end up super low level compared to all of your other marches. So I think there's definitely some weirdness that could be optimized with regard to the balance here. The other thing that is kind of true is like every single season you have to level up your heroes, level up your artifacts. That's kind of the design of the game. Some aspects of that are obviously fun because you pick different things that you invest in, and a whale can't just roll up with everything maxed at the start of a season. But other aspects of that I totally get. How it's super grindy. So the developers say, we're aware that leveling up and that experience in the new season has left some players unsatisfied. We're currently looking at ways to accelerate the leveling process in new seasons and enriching other aspects of gameplay. We'll let you know more about our plans when they're ready, and we'll hope to make that experience a lot more enjoyable. So I think that's good. I mean, look, if we got to do this every season for the rest of the time, it could be grindy, but it'd be better if it wasn't. Up next, after a server merge, players start fighting over regions right away. The losing side barely even gets a chance to gather resources and fight in PvE properly. This can affect the early game development. Actually, I would argue a lot more than the early game development. This can wreck your season. Is there a way to avoid this? So, when the new season starts, some players will take the lead and grow stronger, crowding out weaker players and giving them less breathing room. We're looking into ways of fixing this problem, such as optimizing server merge matchmaking and introducing protection mechanisms in starting regions at the beginning of a new season, as well as other solutions. Yeah, I think that they do need to look at this very closely, because the reality is that your starting region is not guaranteed to be safe. And with the game design as it currently stands, you can get wrecked in your starting, you can get zeroed in your starting zone, easy. So you literally have nowhere to go other than to resurge, and then your tech gets all started over for your policies. So I don't know what the game plan would be here. Other games I've played have factions, and those factions all start together, and so there's no enemies in your starting area. But in fact, anyone who is in your starting area is considered an ally. But obviously in this game, like, you could be in this game's sort of starting area and actually be enemies. But I think it is entirely possible that they should, by default, make it so you can't attack people who are in the same sort of starting area as you. And I think that would actually be a good change, because that would also prevent hostile takeovers of starting areas. That does create weirdness, however, of like, hey, your alliance shouldn't have these behemoths, but they do. So it's really actually pretty complicated how they solve that. I don't know what the answer is. It's actually not as simple as people in the same region can't fight each other. I don't know what it is. Rules for semi-protected passes in Season 1 Plus have led to situations where an alliance wins a battle against another alliance, but can't attack the losing side's starting region. I think that's very good. It should stay that way. The reality is that there's nowhere safe to go. Unlike in Rise of Kingdoms, the predecessor to this game, there's no home kingdom. Do you know how miserable it is to live a whole season on a peace shield because you can just get zeroed? Like, I think that's actually moronic. So I think it's very good that the game works the way that it does. So they say, meanwhile, the losing side can still move through the pass and harass alliances outside it. Doesn't that seem unfair? I would say absolutely not unfair. I would say unequivocally not unfair. I think this question is poorly worded because, look, if you're the winner, you have plenty of zones other than the one immediately outside the starting zone. It would be so boring if, like, season's over, no more fighting for the rest of the season, GG, everybody's, had their starting zone invaded and it's over. So I think the person asking this question has a bad take on what things should look like here. So they say, in Season 1+, we've discovered that some players will enter the affiliated region of other players in their union, then attack the opponents. In order to make combat more fair and prevent situations where defeated alliances has no place to flee, we've limited players' ability to move through passes if their union does not control a behemoth layer in that pass's region. In future seasons, we're planning to incorporate safe zones in order to make gameplay fairer. This feature is still under development, and we'll let you know when it's ready. So basically, they said, not only do we think the way we do things today is correct, but we actually need to do more for people that are locked in their starting zone, which I fully 100% agree with. Couldn't agree more. So I feel like this is a really interesting take by the developers to say, hey, we're answering this question because we actually just think you're wrong. That's what they said. You're wrong. Actually, no. They said it very politely, but I'm just, I'm breaking it down for you. Will you add a recall message feature to the chat? Sometimes people regret saying things. You'll be able to recall messages in 1.0.18. Just hold down the bubble and a recall button will appear. Cool. Will you add a union chat feature? That's an interesting idea. Since the new season began, we've noticed that alliances in unions will often message each other for the purpose of planning and battle preparation. Obviously. This is like Coalitions and Rise of Kingdoms, the predecessor to this game. We're currently working on a union chat feature. We'll let you know when it's ready. Great. That's great. Love it. But there's more. We haven't even gotten to the battle pets yet. The commander and deputy pairing suggestions aren't ones I usually use when I'm making a legion, and it's a pain to have to keep changing them. Are you doing anything to fix this? This is still a problem in Rise of Kingdoms, where, I think it recommends the last heroes that you maxed paired together or something. They say in 1.0.18, you'll be able to swap out commanders and deputies quickly, making it easier to create different legion configurations for different scenarios. I'll be honest. I got 15 presets. I use them. I have 5 multi-deploy presets. I use them. So I don't have this problem, although I do notice that every now and then what the game wants to send is not what I sent recently. It would be kind of an interesting idea if the default was a thing you recently sent, because the game would know that, right? Is that an interesting solution? If the last time I joined a Barb Fort rally, or I guess it's a Darkling Fort rally, I used a certain combo, why not just give me that same combo again, if that's available? Food for thought. Will you be adding engineering talents that allow heroes to gain experience through constructing buildings? So engineering is weird. I just made a video about Ordo where I'm like, is engineering even relevant? And the developers see that same problem, which is interesting. They say, we're aware that engineering doesn't currently feel like a substantial aspect of the game, so we're looking into ways of adjusting its role. We'll let you know when we have a workable solution. Cool. Yeah, I think that's good. Gatherers gain experience by virtue of gathering. Builders should gain experience from virtue of building. An engineer talent tree would be cool. I'm just I know we have an engineer talent tree, but gaining experience that would be cool. And gatherers and engineers have no way of leveling up past 50, by the way, which I think is kind of an L. So it'd be kind of cool if they had a way to get level past 50 without having to bring them into PvP, which for most people doesn't make any sense. What new gameplay and events are coming up? In 1.0.18, here we go, baby, the war pets. We're introducing war pets. You'll be able to capture them on the map and bring them to your pet sanctuary. So they're kind of like Pokemon. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Where you have to actually go out in the map and catch them. Do I need, better have a legendary quality net for your % chance to catch the legendary dragonfly? Or, dragon, fairy, pig, demon, or whatever combination of, animal funniness they come up with here. What could this mean? You might need to buy things to increase your chance of catching them. That includes sometimes food that you feed them, better capture things. I don't know, man. There's a lot that could go on with capturing them on the map. But that also to me means like if you can't get to certain zones, maybe you can't capture certain pets, interacting with your war pets in the sanctuary could lead to some exciting surprises. Okay, pump the brakes. We have a sanctuary building. I assume this is a building in your city, and it might be a building that you level up, to be determined. It might be a building like your rally center or your arrow tower, your next to your wall, that like you need a special currency to level it up. I kind of hope that's not the case, but we'll see if you need something like that. But sanctuary, depending on how they run it, it could just be a building everybody gets at a certain city hall level, or it could be a building that you have to rank up a whole heck of a lot. Then they say train your war pets to become stronger and more capable in battle. Pump the brakes. Let's talk about that. Train your war pets to me means several things. I think there could be queues inside this sanctuary where a trainer makes your pet more capable over time. And maybe you can use speed ups to speed it up. Like kind of sucks, but like kind of might be what it is. Or you might just have to wait. It could be that you need to collect the trainers. It could be that certain heroes operate as trainers and then you can't run them out of your city at the same time. I don't know. I'm just throwing out a bunch of ideas for like how might war pets work and just showing, even though this doesn't say a lot, it could reveal a lot of possibilities that the developers might be thinking about, right? But train your war pets is interesting. And like maybe you need items to train your pet. Do they have skills that they learn? Like, for example, I went to Pokemon, right? But like to lean back on a Pokemon reference, maybe your war pets have certain skills that you teach them. And those could be buffs in battle. They could be things that happen when you use active skills. They could be passive abilities. I assume that you bring pets with your heroes out to fight. And they say, train your war pets to become stronger and more capable in battle. Capable is interesting, and stronger is interesting. I wonder if that just has to do with like damage output, or if that also like war pets have some amount of health and they can be harmed in battle and need to heal. Could be. Also, they say unleash them in your fight against the darkness. Yeah, the darkness may be other players. It may be the darklings. I don't think what they're saying here is that they're only usable versus darklings. That would kind of be an L in my opinion for war pets. So hopefully it's not just a PvE thing, although unleash them in your fight against the darkness does low-key allude to PvE and not PvP. So I feel like, why didn't they say PvP here? Have they said PvP in the past? I assume they have. I don't know. And they say, and that's not all. Season 2, the Icebound Oath, will begin with 1.0.18. The first batch of players will be able to explore Belleron from late August. So this is coming soonish, late August. I mean, it's late August now, so in the next week or two, the first batch of players will be able to explore and enjoy all new season stories. West of the Eternal Sea lies a land of new forces and landforms and new behemoths. I mean, obviously we're getting some ice stuff, right? We're going to get like some frost yetis instead of a dire bear, or maybe we'll get a polar bear instead of a dire bear. I feel like there's some really cool ice-based monsters. Maybe it'll be an ice dragon in the center. Totally cool. If that's what happens, your boy Chisgule Gaming called it, okay? More news about the Icebound Oath will be available in the 1.0.18 version update announcement, so stay tuned. That's all for the developer Q&A. GG, man. I think that actually they revealed a lot of information in here. A lot of information, not only about the headspace of the developers, which I actually think is in a great spot. They're basically saying our number... I mean, look at what they talked about. They talked about, oh, at the start of the season, you can fight each other and it's too aggressive, and oh, you don't have a safe zone. Like, the developers are thinking about, wait a minute, what if you're taking a fat L in a season? What do you do? And how do we make that not suck? And I think it's really good that that's what they're looking at and that's what they're thinking about, because I think that's very good. Also, the fact that they're looking at how you gain experience, both from an engineering standpoint, okay, they mentioned this question, this is allowing heroes to gain experience through constructing buildings, and also the fact that the season's too grindy is also a huge win. So I think these are very good things for the developers to be looking at, actually. I like this. And I'm super hyped for War Pets. So if you want to see when all that drops, consider subscribing to the channel. And as one other bonus, and some hypothesis sort of theory crafting I've got about war pets, let me show you one more thing. Congratulations, you made it to the end of a Chisgule Gaming YouTube video. If you aren't subscribed, I mean, smash that subscribe button, smash a like on the video. You must be having a good time to be this far in. Let's talk about this cartoon. It's an official Call of Dragons cartoon. And why am I showing this to you? Well, I have a theory, okay? I have a theory, which is that there's two cute, cuddly animals in this cartoon that was released in the official Call of Dragons Facebook page. And it says, Mom, look at my new friends. So low-key expect, in my opinion, some kind of butterfly pet, some kind of tiger pet, some kind of rabbit pet for the war pets over time. And also I would say that each faction probably has some different sort of war pets that are more sort of oriented toward them. This is my opinion. So I think some of the war pets are obviously going to be oriented towards like the Spring Wardens sort of look and feel, others to Wilderberg, others to, the League of Order, just my opinion. This guy's saying, Mom, Dad, where are you? Then I guess he's feeling like abandoned. Why? Were they tired of me and left? Probably not, bro. Poor child. Forondil. Your connection with nature is extraordinary. Come join my apprenticeship. For many years, they traveled across the land where Indus taught Forondil the secrets of nature. So I guess Forondil as a kid got abandoned, which is a huge L, but maybe his parents, maybe the Darklings got him or something. Or maybe the Darklings weren't around then. I don't know. Whatever. So Forondil joins under the apprenticeship of Indus. So this is for you, so you never forget where you belong, and thus with her guidance, Forondil emerged triumphant, earning the title of True Druid. Years later, 1176, Battle of Hexwood, when three factions fought a decisive battle, ... Do I have more? I do. Orcs are not our goal. We must take the throne of, and I can't read that, Jargond. And he says, I must find a way to stop them. What's happening? An unknown force overtakes Forondil. My power, it's overwhelming. So druids typically are shapeshifters. I wonder if he changed shapes here into some sort of like giant hawk, thunderhawk sort of a thing. I don't know. Cool. All in all, I think what's most insightful in all this, maybe this is a key to a behemoth that's coming up. Maybe. Maybe this gives us information, okay, about war pets. Maybe I'm reaching. Could be that I'm reaching. Like if I were a developer and I dropped a cartoon and I'd already teased war pets and I got these cute cuddly things on the screen that he's talking to and he's saying they're my friends. I don't know, man. Maybe I read between the lines too much here about what they're revealing. And with regard to Forondil's like skills, which we don't know yet, it would be pretty cool if a hero's active skill did like a shape-shifting thing and they turned into a beast, except that doesn't exactly make sense because they're leading an army. So I don't know. What does this mean for his active skills? To be determined. Obviously, he's Spring Warden, so, and we kind of knew that from his look anyways. If you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe to the channel. And if you're looking for, I don't know, more information about the heroes as of right now in the game and the best artifacts, I'll have two cards in the end screen. Best heroes, best artifacts. Hope you'll check those vids out.